Found out my wife was sleeping with her cousin, so I gathered proof, exposed them to everyone, and ended everything in one move. I'm a civil engineer. I manage bridge infrastructure projects across Ohio. My job is simple: identify problems, calculate load-bearing capacity, fix what's broken before it collapses. Turns out, I should have applied that same methodology to my marriage. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that I was married to Leona for 4 years. Together for 7 total. We had the kind of life people post about on social media: renovated colonial in the Columbus suburbs, 2 decent incomes, weekend brunches, couples gym memberships we actually used. She worked pharmaceutical sales. Traveled a lot for conferences and client dinners. I never questioned it. Why would I? We were solid. Or so I thought. Leona was one of those people everyone liked immediately. Bright smile, quick laugh, remember details about your life that made you feel seen. Her family was tight-knit in that suffocating Midwest way: Sunday dinners at her parents' place, holiday gatherings with aunts and uncles and cousins crawling all over each other. I wasn't built for that kind of closeness, but I played along. That's what you do when you love someone. About 6 months ago, her cousin Rafe moved back to town. I never liked Rafe. He was one of those guys who could sell ice to someone dying of hypothermia, commercial real estate broker, always had an angle, always working a room. His marriage had just imploded, and suddenly he was at every family function, sitting a little too close to Leona, laughing a little too loud at her jokes. He's going through a rough time, Leona explained when I mentioned how often he was around. Family should support each other. I nodded. Dropped it. That's the thing about being methodical: you don't react immediately. You observe. You collect data. The first real crack appeared about 3 months back. We were at her parents' place for Sunday dinner. Standard setup: her dad grilling, her mom fussing over sides, siblings arguing about politics. Rafe showed up late, all apologies and charm, and slid into the seat next to Leona. I watched them throughout the meal. The way they laughed at the same moments. The way her hand brushed his arm when she passed him the salad bowl. The inside joke about some restaurant I'd never heard of. When I asked about it later in the car, she waved it off. Oh, we grabbed lunch last week when I had that gap between client meetings. He was nearby. She'd never mentioned it. I filed it away. Over the next few weeks, I started noticing more. She was always on her phone, angled away from me. Always tired after work, not interested in much beyond Netflix and early bedtime. When I'd ask about her day, she'd give these vague, rehearsed answers that sounded fine but said nothing. How was Cincinnati? Good. Exhausting. Same clients, same pitch, you know how it is. Except her eyes wouldn't quite meet mine. I'm not the jealous type. Never have been. I don't check phones or demand passwords or throw tantrums. But I'm an engineer. I recognize patterns. I see structural weaknesses before they become catastrophic failures. And I was starting to see cracks everywhere. The Wednesday before everything changed, we were sitting on the couch watching some cooking show neither of us cared about. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, smiled slightly, then put it face down on the cushion. Who was that? I asked. Casual. Not accusing. Work thing. I'll handle it tomorrow. But she didn't stop smiling. That night, she went to take a shower. Left her laptop open on the kitchen counter. I was cleaning up dinner, loading the dishwasher, doing the normal evening routine. Then I saw the notification flash across the screen. Message from R. And a heart emoji. My stomach dropped. I stood there, dish towel in my hand, staring at that laptop like it was a bomb. The shower was still running upstairs. I could hear Leona singing something off-key, happy and oblivious. I closed the laptop. Went upstairs. Got into bed. Lay there in the dark with my hands folded on my chest, staring at the ceiling, while my wife eventually climbed in next to me and fell asleep within minutes. That was the night everything changed. Because that's when I stopped being a husband. And started being an investigator. I didn't sleep that night. Just lay there listening to Leona breathe, every exhale feeling like confirmation of something I didn't want to know. Around 3 a.m., I got up, went downstairs, sat at the kitchen table in the dark. The laptop was still there. I opened it. Her password was the name of the dog we'd adopted together 3 years ago. She'd never changed it. Why would she? We trusted each other. The messaging app was still open. I scrolled up slowly, looking for that notification from R, found the thread. Most of it was deleted. That's when the engineer in me took over completely. Because deleted doesn't mean gone. It means recoverable. I'd used data recovery tools on construction project files before, lost spreadsheets, corrupted blueprints. Same principle applies to consumer devices. I downloaded a recovery program. Ran it. Waited. 6 months of conversation history appeared on the screen. I read it all. Started from the beginning. Had to understand the timeline, the progression, the structural failure points. March 15th, Rafe, hey cuz, heard you're doing well. Wanna grab coffee sometime? Been too long. March 15th, Leona, would love that. How about Tuesday? Innocent. Normal. Cousins reconnecting. March 28th, Rafe, that was fun today. You always know how to make me laugh. March 28th, Leona, you too. I needed that. Things have been complicated lately. The shift. Right there. Complicated. I kept reading. April 10th, Leona, can't stop thinking about our conversation yesterday. April 10th, Rafe, me neither. This is probably a bad idea. April 10th, Leona, probably. April 11th, Leona, but I don't care. The messages accelerated after that. Daily. Then hourly. Flirty undertones became explicit invitations. Plans to meet. Discussions of timing. May 3rd, Rafe, your husband's at the construction site all week, right? The bridge project? May 3rd, Leona, yeah. Doesn't get home until after 8 most nights. May 3rd, Rafe, so Tuesday works for you? May 3rd, Leona, Tuesday works perfectly. I remembered that Tuesday. I'd been overseeing concrete pours on the I-70 overpass expansion. Came home exhausted around 9 p.m. She'd already eaten, was in her pajamas watching TV. Kissed me when I walked in. Told me she'd had a quiet day. I screenshotted everything. Saved it to an encrypted cloud drive. Then kept reading. Hotel confirmations under fake names, Mr. and Mrs. Foster at a boutique place downtown. Photos they'd sent each other. Nothing explicit, but unmistakable. Her in lingerie I'd never seen. Him shirtless in what was clearly a hotel room. The worst part wasn't the images. It was the casual cruelty in their texts. June 18th, Rafe, he suspect anything? June 18th, Leona, please. He barely notices what I'm wearing, let alone where I am. This is almost too easy. June 18th, Rafe, still feel guilty? June 18th, Leona, not really. Not anymore. I sat back from the laptop. Checked the time. 5:44 a.m. Leona would be up soon. She always woke at 6:30, showered, made herself breakfast while I got ready for the site. I opened our bank records. Joint credit card showed normal purchases. But when I filtered by cash withdrawals, I found a pattern. ATM transactions every week on days she claimed to be working late. 200 here, 300 there. Consistent timing. Then I found something else. A separate checking account opened 3 months ago. Just her name. I only found it because she'd used our home address and the bank had sent a promotional mailer months back that I'd filed away without thinking much about it. I pulled our phone records from the carrier website. Hundreds of calls and texts to a number I didn't recognize. Cross-referenced it with her contacts export. Rafe's cell. I sat there as the sun started coming up, data surrounding me like pieces of a collapsed structure. Every support beam compromised. Every load calculation wrong. My hands weren't shaking. That surprised me. I felt cold. Clinical. Like I was reviewing a failed inspection report, not evidence that my marriage was a lie. Heard footsteps upstairs. The shower turning on. I closed everything. Cleared the browser history. Put the laptop exactly where she'd left it. Made coffee. Got dressed for work. Kissed her goodbye when she came downstairs like I'd done 1,000 times. Have a good day, she said, smiling. You too, I replied. Drove halfway to the construction site, then pulled over. Called in sick for the first time in 3 years. Went to a coffee shop. Opened my laptop. Started building a file. Timeline spreadsheet. Cross-reference dates. Screenshot organization. Evidence categorization. I wasn't angry yet. I was planning. Around noon, I made a call to a divorce attorney whose name I'd found through a colleague's recommendation years back. Made an appointment for Friday. Then I drove home, walked into our bedroom, and stopped at Leona's vanity. Our wedding photo sat there in a silver frame. Her in white, me in my suit, both of us grinning like idiots who thought forever meant something. I picked it up. Studied her smile. Thought, I'll make sure everyone sees who you really are. Then I set it face down. And walked out. The next 2 weeks were the strangest of my life. I lived in 2 realities simultaneously. In one reality, I was a normal husband. Came home from work, asked about her day, watched TV together, went to bed beside her. Made weekend breakfast, did laundry, paid bills. Kissed her goodbye every morning. In the other reality, I was documenting the systematic destruction of my marriage. Friday, I met with Veronica Hayes. Mid-50s, sharp gray suit, reputation for being ruthless in divorce court. She listened to my situation without interrupting, then asked to see my evidence. I showed her everything. She was quiet for a long moment. "This is airtight," she finally said. "Documented infidelity with family member. Financial deception. You'll get everything you're asking for." "I don't want everything," I said. "I want what's mine. And I want them to face what they did." Public confrontation? Very public. She advised against it. Too messy, too unpredictable, too emotional. I thanked her for the advice and ignored it completely. That weekend, I installed a discreet GPS tracker on Leona's car. Technically legal since both our names were on the title. The kind designed for fleet management, barely noticeable under the rear bumper. Then I set up cloud access to her phone photos. We'd linked our Apple accounts years ago for shared albums. She'd never disabled it. I could see every picture she took in real time. Sunday night, while she was doing meal prep in the kitchen, I sat in my home office and watched new photos upload from her device. Selfies taken in Rafe's bathroom. I recognized the tile from a photo he'd posted months ago. She'd been there that afternoon while I was watching the game downstairs. I saved the images. Added them to my growing file. Monday through Friday, I tracked her movements. Cross-referenced her location with what she told me she was doing. Client dinner in Cincinnati, GPS showed she never left Columbus. Spent 4 hours at Rafe's apartment complex. Late meeting at the office, she was at a hotel on the north side of town. Drinks with work friends, Rafe's place again. Every lie, documented. Every discrepancy, cataloged. I maintained the spreadsheet like a project timeline. Dates, locations, duration, claimed activity versus actual activity. Color-coded by severity. The worst part wasn't the lying. It was how easy it was for her. Wednesday night, I took her out for date night. Suggested it casually, said we hadn't done it in a while. She seemed almost relieved, like my attention to our marriage meant she was getting away with everything. We went to the Italian place she loved. She wore a blue dress, laughed at my stories from the construction site, held my hand across the table. She was happy. Meanwhile, my phone buzzed with a notification. The GPS tracker. Her car had been at Rafe's complex for 3 hours that afternoon before I got home. I smiled at her. Ordered dessert. Paid the bill. Drove home and made love to my wife like nothing was wrong. Then waited until she fell asleep and added date night, appeared relieved I wasn't suspicious to my evidence file. I wasn't angry yet. That's what I kept noticing. I was detached. Clinical. Like I was observing someone else's life fall apart. Thursday afternoon, I was home early. Leona was on the phone in our bedroom. Didn't realize I'd come in through the garage. I stood in the hallway and listened. "He has no idea," she said, laughing. "Honestly, I thought it'd be harder. But he's so focused on work, so trusting. This is almost too easy." Pause. I know. We just need to be careful a little longer. Once I figure out the financial stuff, we can." She stopped mid-sentence. I heard her moving. I walked into the kitchen, made noise with dishes. She came out a minute later, all smiles. "Hey, didn't hear you come in." "Just got here," I said. "Who were you talking to?" "Oh, just my mom. Planning Thanksgiving." I nodded. Opened the fridge. Got a beer I didn't want. Something had shifted in me during that phone call. The cold detachment burned away, replaced by something darker. She wasn't just cheating. She was planning. Figure out the financial stuff. Meaning she wanted to drain me before leaving. That night, I made my decision. The exposure had to be devastating. Public. Irreversible. And it had to be in front of the people who trusted them most. Friday morning, I checked the calendar. Leona's family Thanksgiving gathering was in 4 days. Her parents hosted every year. Big production, extended family, multiple generations, formal dining room setup. Everyone would be there. Her parents. Rafe's parents. Siblings. Cousins. Grandparents. 22 people who thought they knew who Leona and Rafe were. I confirmed our attendance. Volunteered to help set up, bring wine, whatever they needed. Leona thought I was being sweet. "You've been so good to me lately," she said, kissing my cheek. "I love you." "Love you too," I replied, but I was already planning the perfect stage for their reckoning. Monday morning, I was back in Veronica Hayes' office. "I need everything finalized before Thursday," I said. She looked up from her desk. "That's 3 days." "I know. Most divorce proceedings take months." "I'm not asking for most divorces. I'm asking for this one." She studied me for a moment. Then pulled up her computer. "With documented infidelity this clear-cut, and if you're willing to waive the waiting period, we can file an emergency motion. Judge Patterson owes me a favor." "Do it." "You're sure about the asset division? You're entitled to more." "I don't want more. I want what's mine. The house, my accounts, my possessions. She can have whatever's in her name. I just want it separated. Now." Veronica made 3 phone calls while I sat there. By noon, the paperwork was drafted. By 3 p.m., we were in front of Judge Patterson in his chambers. He reviewed my evidence file in silence. Photos, messages, timeline, GPS data, financial records showing her secret account. "This is comprehensive," he said finally. "I'm thorough." He signed the preliminary orders. Asset freeze. Account separation. Temporary restraining order preventing her from accessing joint assets or selling shared property. "The house?" I asked. "Deed transfers to your name effective immediately given documented infidelity and her financial deception. She has 30 days to remove her belongings once served." "Thank you, Your Honor." By 5 p.m. Tuesday, everything was processed. The marriage wasn't just ending, it was already over. Legally, financially, completely. I just had to serve the papers. But first, I had a presentation to finish. Tuesday night, I worked in my home office while Leona watched TV downstairs. Organized the evidence into a timeline that told the story without me having to say a word. Screenshots arranged chronologically. Messages grouped by severity, flirtation, then planning, then explicit content, then mockery of me. Audio clips cleaned up for clarity. Her voice telling Rafe she loved him. Them laughing about how oblivious I was. Photos that showed them together at hotels, at his apartment, in places she'd claimed to be somewhere else. Financial records showing her secret account, the cash withdrawals, the hotel bookings. GPS data overlaid with her lies about where she'd been. I tested the presentation 3 times on my tablet. Checked the connections, verified the file backups, made sure nothing would fail when the moment came. Wednesday, I confirmed the setup at her parents' house. They had a large TV in the dining room, HDMI cables already there for family movie nights. Perfect. I bought adapters just in case. Downloaded the presentation to 2 separate devices. Created a USB backup. Triple redundancy, engineer's habit. Wednesday evening, Leona asked me to pick up her specialty dish for Thanksgiving. "The cranberry thing your mom loves?" I asked. "Exactly." She was cheerful, excited. "I can't wait for tomorrow. Family time, you know?" "Yeah," I said. "Family time." That night, my phone lit up with a notification. Cloud backup from Leona's device. New message from Rafe. I opened it. "Rafe, can't wait to see you tomorrow. Too bad we can't sneak away. Leona, patience. We have all the time in the world." I took a screenshot. Added it to the presentation. The final piece. Then I sat at my desk and went through the checklist one last time. Divorce already processed? Check. Judge's signature on file? Check. Assets already secured in my name? Check. House deed already transferred? Check. Lawyer on standby for confirmation call? Check. Presentation tested and backed up? Check. Papers printed and ready to serve? Check. I heard Leona come upstairs, get ready for bed. She appeared in the doorway of my office. "Coming to bed?" "In a minute." She walked over, wrapped her arms around my shoulders from behind. Kissed the top of my head. "I'm so grateful for you," she whispered. "I don't say it enough." I reached up, patted her hand. Said nothing. She went to bed. I sat there thinking, by this time tomorrow, you'll be nothing to me. Thanksgiving morning, I woke before the sun came up. Got dressed carefully. Not my usual casual wear, my best suit, the charcoal one I wore to important client meetings. Crisp white shirt. Dark tie. I was buckling my belt when Leona emerged from the bathroom, towel wrapped around her. She stopped. Looked at me. Why so formal? I adjusted my tie in the mirror. Just felt like looking sharp today. For my parents' Thanksgiving? Why not? She laughed. You're usually in jeans and a sweater. Felt like changing it up. She shrugged. When to get dressed? I went downstairs, made coffee, checked my jacket pocket. USB drive. Tablet. Leather folder containing divorce papers, already signed by a judge, already legally binding. My phone buzzed. Text from Veronica Hayes. All set. Everything's finalized. Just serve the papers and walk away. You're free. I read it twice. Then deleted it. Leona came downstairs in a burgundy dress, makeup perfect, completely unsuspecting. Ready? She asked. Ready. We got in the car. She chattered nervously about family dynamics, who was bringing what, some cousin drama I didn't care about. I drove in silence, hands steady on the wheel. In my jacket pocket, evidence that would detonate 22 lives. The marriage had ended 3 days ago. They just didn't know it yet. We pulled up to her parents' Victorian house at 1:45 p.m. Cars already lined the street. Through the windows, I could see family gathering. Leona grabbed the cranberry dish from the backseat. This is going to be such a nice day, she said. I looked at her. Really looked at her. One last time as my wife. Yeah, I said. It's going to be unforgettable. We walked to the door together. It opened before we could knock. Her mother stood there beaming, arms wide for hugs. Behind her, I could see the dining room. The long table. 22 chairs. And standing near the fireplace, drink in hand, laughing with someone's kids. Rafe. Diane, Leona's mother, pulled me into a hug that smelled like cinnamon and wine. So glad you're here, she said. Leona's been working so hard lately. She needs this family time. Yes, I said. She's certainly been busy. The house was warm, crowded, loud with conversation. Aunts in the kitchen finishing side dishes. Uncles watching football in the living room. Kids running between rooms. The normal chaos of a family gathering. Rafe saw us come in. For a split second, maybe half a heartbeat, his expression changed. Then the smile snapped back into place. Hey, you too. He crossed the room, hugged Leona, shook my hand. Firm grip. Direct eye contact. Good to see you, man. You too, I replied. Leona and Rafe exchanged a look. Brief. Careful. They thought I didn't notice. I noticed everything. I helped set up, made small talk, checked the TV setup in the dining room while pretending to admire some new artwork Diane had hung. HDMI cable accessible. Connection port visible. Good sight lines from every chair. Perfect. By 2 p.m., everyone had migrated to the dining room. 22 people settling into chairs, passing dishes, laughing. Rafe's parents, Walter and Patricia, sat near the head of the table. Leona's father carved the turkey. Her grandmother asked about seconds before we'd even started firsts. Normal. Happy. Unsuspecting. I stayed standing. Leona looked up. Honey, sit down. In a minute, I said. Conversations continued around me. Someone was telling a story about traffic. Someone else was arguing about football scores. I cleared my throat. Before we eat, I said, voice calm and clear, I think everyone deserves the truth. The room didn't go silent immediately. Took a few seconds for people to register I was talking. Conversations died in waves. Leona's smile faltered. What are you? I pulled the tablet from my jacket. Walked to the TV. Connected the cable. What's going on? Diane asked, confused but not alarmed yet. Rafe started to stand. I saw it in my peripheral vision. Sit down, I said. Not loud. Not angry. Just factual. He sat. I turned to face them all. 22 people looking at me with varying degrees of confusion. This family values honesty, I said. Loyalty. Trust. So I think you should know what's been happening. I hit play. The first image appeared on the TV. Text messages. Small font, but readable. Rafe, can't stop thinking about yesterday. Leona, me neither. This is dangerous. Rafe, I don't care. Leona's face went white. I didn't pause. Didn't explain. Just let the presentation run. More messages. Chronological. The progression from innocent to flirtatious to explicit. Plans to meet. Discussions of timing. Mocking comments about me. Leona, he barely notices what I'm wearing, let alone where I am. Rafe, still feel guilty? Leona, not really. Not anymore. Someone gasped. I didn't look to see who. Hotel receipts appeared on screen. Mr. and Mrs. Foster. Dates and times listed clearly. Then photos. The two of them together. Nothing graphic, but unmistakably intimate. Her in his apartment. Him in hotel rooms. Timestamps visible on every image. Audio played next. Leona's voice through the TV speakers, crystal clear. I love you. Rafe's voice responding, I love you too. The room didn't explode. It went silent. Complete, absolute silence except for the audio evidence playing through the speakers. I watched their faces, not the screen. I'd seen all this before. Diane's hand covered her mouth. Her father had stopped mid-motion, knife still in the turkey. Walter looked like he might collapse. Patricia was crying. The younger kids were confused, sensing something wrong but not understanding what. Leona tried to speak. This isn't, you don't understand. Her voice cracked. Died in her throat. Rafe stood again. Moved toward the door. I didn't stop him. Didn't move. Just watched. 22 pairs of eyes turned to him. He froze. Looked around the room. Sat back down slowly. More evidence played. Messages about their plans. Leona discussing figuring out the financial stuff. GPS data showing her car at his apartment when she'd claimed to be working. Their mockery of me, laughing about how easy it was to deceive everyone. The presentation ended. Black screen. Silence. I disconnected the tablet. Tucked it under my arm. Reached into my jacket pocket. Pulled out the leather folder. Opened it. Removed the papers inside. Walked to where Leona sat, frozen, tears starting to stream down her face. Placed the divorce papers on the table in front of her. Everything is already filed, I said. Voice steady. Final. Already processed. Already signed by a judge. Our assets are separated. Accounts are closed. The house is in my name. This marriage ended 3 days ago. I looked around the room. Met every eye that would meet mine. You're just finding out now. Leona's hands shook as she reached for the papers. Couldn't seem to focus on the words. Rafe sat frozen, face gray. Someone tried to speak. Leona's father, I think. I didn't wait to hear it. I turned toward the door. Wait, Leona's voice, desperate. Please, we need to. I kept walking. Out of the dining room. Through the foyer. To the front door. Behind me, chaos was starting to erupt. Voices rising. Someone crying. Someone yelling. I opened the door. Stepped outside. Closed it behind me. Walked to my car while 22 people processed what they'd just witnessed. Got in. Started the engine. Drove away. I made it 3 blocks before I pulled over. Sat there with the engine running, hands on the steering wheel, staring at nothing. Called Veronica. It's done, I said. Papers served. Evidence shown. How do you feel? I thought about it. Nothing. I feel nothing. That's normal. Give it time. Time, I repeated. Yeah. You're legally free. Everything's finalized. The house is yours, accounts are separated, her name is off everything. You executed this perfectly. Thanks. I hung up. Sat there another minute. Then I drove to the house. My house now. Legally secured 3 days ago while Leona slept beside me, oblivious. Her belongings were already packed. I'd done it the previous night after she'd gone to bed, boxed up her clothes, her toiletries, her books, everything that was hers. Labeled each box. Stacked them neatly in the garage. Storage unit already rented in her name. First month paid. Address written on a card I'd left on the kitchen counter next to her key. I changed the locks. New ones I'd purchased Tuesday, installed Wednesday afternoon during her client meeting that the GPS showed was actually at Rafe's apartment. Security system passcode changed. Every trace of shared access, eliminated. My phone started ringing around 4 p.m. Leona's sister. Her brother. Her mother. Rafe's mother. Unknown numbers I assumed were other family members. I didn't answer any of them. One text from Leona came through, please, we need to talk. I can explain. I blocked her number. One text from Rafe, you didn't have to do it like that. I typed back, Yes. I did. Then blocked him too. By evening, notifications started appearing on my banking app. Joint accounts officially closed. Final transfers completed. Everything separated, clean, irreversible. Another notification, judge's final decree, electronically filed and stamped. 4 years of marriage, dissolved in 48 hours of legal precision. I sat in the empty house, my house, and felt nothing. Not victory. Not sadness. Not anger. Just done. That night, I packed my own essentials. Clothes, laptop, important documents. Left most of the furniture. Didn't matter. Didn't want it anyway. I already had a corporate apartment rented in Denver. Arranged it last week. New project starting Monday, managing the expansion of a highway interchange system. Perfect timing. Perfect distance. Left Sunday morning before sunrise. Drove west while Columbus disappeared in the rearview mirror. By Monday morning, as the synopsis says, by morning, everything was finalized. I was in Denver. New apartment. New city. New project. No photos of Leona. No reminders. No trace. My phone had 17 missed calls from various family members. I deleted the voicemails without listening. One from her father made it through before I'd blocked everyone. I played 10 seconds of it. I'm so sorry. We had no idea. We don't blame you. Deleted. Over the next few weeks, I learned what happened to them through mutual acquaintances. People who didn't know I'd already stopped caring. Leona lost her job. Couldn't function after the exposure, stopped showing up to work, got fired for abandoning her territory. Rafe's business tanked. Word spread fast in their professional community. Clients dropped him. Partners distanced themselves. He was toxic. Both had to move away. Start over. Somewhere nobody knew their story. The family fractured. Leona's parents wouldn't speak to her. Rafe's parents disowned his behavior. No more Sunday dinners. No more holidays. No more family. They didn't just lose me. They lost their image. Their family. Their place in it. But I didn't follow their stories closely. Didn't care what happened next. This was never about revenge. It was about execution. 3 months later, I sold the house. Got above asking price. Used the money for a down payment on a modern condo with mountain views. Met someone casually, a structural engineer working on the same project. Nothing serious yet. Maybe it would be. Maybe it wouldn't. Didn't matter. I wasn't broken. I was free. No traces of the past. No looking back. No regrets. One night, standing on my balcony with coffee, watching the sun set over the Rockies, I thought about Leona and Rafe for the first time in weeks. Wondered if they ever understood what they'd lost. Then realized I didn't care. I didn't chase revenge. I executed it. I didn't lose control. Never gave them the satisfaction. They thought they were clever. Thought I was blind. I wasn't blind. I was methodical. While they laughed about how easy it was to fool me, I was building the case that would end them both. Clean. Final. Like they never existed. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.